really believe that it's important that there's counter messaging to all the lies that are out there. And the mainstream media, I mean, CNN should be torn down to the studs and rebuilt as a news organization. I mean, the whole place is just rotten to the core. Same with MSNBC, but MSNBC is just the slightly more honest version of NBC News, which is every bit as liberal, but tries to hide it a little bit more. It's a little less obvious about it. All of this going on, they don't want you to take away from this that there was bias, that there were people who did the things that they did because they don't like President Trump and because politically they had an agenda inside the FBI. Now, we're going to get to the journalists, and the journalists are a joke in all this. I mean, the ones that I was having fun yesterday, tweeting at Jim Sciutto at CNN from 2017, the dossier, according to my intelligence sources, has been largely verified. That tweet's still up. That's a fun one. So many of them. I mean, there's so many of them. You go back and see these people are all clowns. Do you know how many tweets I have to delete, or any of my friends on the right who have been defending Trump because the facts were in his favor all along? Do you know how many tweets we've had to delete about this or apologize for? 0, my friends. I have been wrong a grand total of 0 times on Russia collusion. Who at CNN or MSNBC or the New York Times, the Washington Post that was covering this, or any other liberal media outlet can say the same thing? None of them. They've all been wrong. It's just a question of degrees. It's a question of how egregious their wrongness has been. And yet, many of us on the right, we haven't had to backtrack on anything. Oh, sorry, I guess we missed that by a lot. Isn't that interesting? One of the reasons why you're much better off coming here every day to find out what's going on in the world than you are listening to some of these talking heads at the various lib channels. You already know that. Not just if you agree with me, just because they're wrong, and a lot of them aren't very smart. So then that brings me to the Ted Cruz point here. Why is it on this point of this is the fundamental fight right now? Was there bias or not? Put aside, we all know there's mistakes, and people that don't admit that, I mean, you're getting into a degree of denialism where you can't actually have a conversation about this with somebody like that. If someone thinks that the FBI didn't just do a total face plant on this whole thing, the most sensitive political case in its history, then there's nothing to talk about with them because they're delusional. They have there's no anchoring principle for them. There's no ability to exchange thoughts and ideas. They're just orange man bad. That's all they know. They've been brainwashed. I mean, brainwashing is a real thing that happens to people. And the liberal media has brainwashed a whole lot of folks that no matter what the actual evidence shows, no matter what the information is that comes out of this process, doesn't matter. Because you already know that Trump is orange man and orange man is bad.